Milwaukee Saturday. Bill Reiter, our NBA insider, joining us here. Boston, Bill, already in an 0-1 hole at home. How big of a blow is it to not have one of, if not the best defender in the NBA?
Yeah, Chris, you said it. It's a devastating reality for the Celtics. Marcus Smart was the defensive player of the year, was my defensive player of the year. And one of the things we've seen from Milwaukee all season long, whatever their defensive output in a given game, and they've been inconsistent over the course of the season, they have a way, even without Chris Middleton in Game 1, to find that next gear offensively. Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, Bobby Portis, guys that aren't named Giannis Antetokounmpo, have been able to contribute on top of the Greek Freak. You need a guy like Marcus Smart to try to slow one of those guys down, several of those guys down. It's a big blow for Boston.
The line was Boston -5. It briefly went off the board, came back at Boston -4. Is that enough? Is Marcus Smart only worth 1 point?
No, I don't think it is. Look, I don't know what the lines makers are doing in this series. When I saw the line in Game 1, a similar deficit, a similar number of points you got if you bet on Milwaukee, I thought that was easy money. I think it was easy money before the Marcus Smart number or the news came out. Look, Boston can win the game. And maybe they can win the game going away. But we seem to forget in the media, fans, even Vegas, these are the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks. We saw their ability to be excellent without Chris Middleton in Game 1. Obviously, they don't have him in this game. But Marcus Smart going away is a significant loss for Boston as well. To me, this is a coin flip of a basketball game. The Celtics do not have the easy task of going after a Nets team that they beat and dominated in round 1, where that team ran a ton of ISO. This is a Milwaukee team that moves the ball. Even if you double team Giannis Antetokounmpo, it tends not to be effective. For my money, literally and figuratively, I think you bet on Milwaukee before the news, and the fact that only moved the line by 1 is insane to me, Chris.
A lot was made about all the three-pointers that Boston took and missed in that Game 1 loss. Does the game plan have to change tonight?
No, I don't think that it does. I think if you're Boston, what you want to do is try to find as many good looks as you can get and presume that you're going to revert back to the mean mathematically and hit some of those shots. I think the real issue for Boston is to be less about their offensive output. You presume that a team that was a top 10 offensive rated team over the course of the regular season is going to find a way to score points. What you've got to do is be excellent defensively. That's what the Warriors have done this year in their championship runs. I mean, go down the list of all the teams that have found ways to win championships or make deep runs. You got to be great defensively. That's what Boston has to do. They did it against Brooklyn. Their ability to switch and have basically any guy guard Kevin Durant was highly effective. That's not going to work against Giannis, but you got to make sure Bobby Portis Jr. doesn't beat you, that Grayson Allen doesn't beat you, as crazy as that sounds. Certainly that Drew Holiday doesn't have a big offensive night. So for me, Boston runs the offense that they ran and presumes they're going to hit some of those shots. It's defense where they've got to really make their hay.
Some unfortunate timing, only 1 day off between games 1 and 2, but they're going to have 3 days off between games 2 and 3. Would you expect to see him back on the floor Game 3 Saturday in Milwaukee?
I honestly don't know and haven't heard anything back from sources. I can tell you this. If he's not playing in a Game 2, as you referenced, where you can go down 2-0, you're in a situation where you can dominate this series, or at least be dominated if you go down 2-0. I mean, this isn't a must-win game. There's no such thing if you're not actually about to be eliminated. But the fact that he can't play is not good news. Now, 3 days off is a lot of time, but the reality is Marcus Smart has always been a really tough dude who plays through injury, and the fact he's not in this game certainly raises some questions about what happens going forward.
All right, again, the line went from Boston -5 to Boston -4, but Bill Reiter likes the Bucks not just to cover, but to win and go up 2-0 tonight before the series goes back to Milwaukee. Both road teams tonight have a chance to take a 2-0 series lead and then go home. The Warriors, 2-point favorites in Memphis. That's the nightcap, 9:30 Eastern time tonight.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.